Hiya, it's Kerry from Mobilates. Oh, it's week 80 with me. So 80 sessions, that's a lot, isn't it? It doesn't feel like it. Let's get into today's session. We're going to take it gently, standing, seated. We're going to have some lying down. You could be doing this standing. You could be doing this seated from a chair. You could be doing it seated on the edge of your bed. And then you could lie down on your mattress. So lots of different ways to do it. We're going to work really gently, but get everything moving. There's a long weekend coming up, spring, a bank holiday, Easter holiday, whichever you celebrate. So let's get ourselves ready. We're going to start. Oh, hello, Jackie. I'll start with a hello. You reminded me, Jackie, say hello in the comments. You know, I'll always have a check afterwards. It's always very reassuring for me to see people I know in there, and for new people to introduce themselves. So hi if you are new. It's always nice to see you. Hello, Irene. Right, I feel the gang are here. Let's get started. So always start with a bit of breath work. Comfortable feet, legs however you want them, feeling stable. So that might be sitting or standing with your legs a little wider. You can see my feet are going out a little bit. It's all good. We're going to sit or stand a little taller. Just let everything just calm down for a moment. And then we're going to breathe in. And as you breathe in through your nose if you can, I want you to feel that breath going right down, all the way down, even to your feet. And as you do that, we're going to take our arms gently up. And now we're going to blow that breath out through slightly pursed lips, a bit like a whistle without a sound. And it feels like the breath is leaving our bodies. Belly sort of crumples back a little. And you might even get a slight upward sensation, but it's super gentle. Hello, Barbara. Lovely to have you here. So breathing in, this breath coming down all the way to our toes. And breathing out. And feeling this breath moving upwards, outwards, sort of deflating. Breathing in. And breathing out. In. And out. Last one. I couldn't help closing my eyes for this one. It feels good. And out. Blink your eyes open if they've been closed. We're going to move those feet inwards a little. And we're going to go into pelvic tilts. So my legs are straightish if I'm standing. They're ahead in an L shape if you're sitting. Comfortable gap between your legs. And I'll start with the sitting version, but I'll turn to the side so you can see what's happening. Look at this area where my hand is tapping. It's just where the waistband is on my yoga pants. Breath in. Breath out. I'm just sending that part of my back backwards. It feels like my bottom here is a ball and it's rolling that way. And then it's going to roll slightly forwards. Now that feeling of your bottom as a ball works better if you're sitting, not so well if you're standing because you'd be in fresh air. So if you're standing, one thing you can do is place your finger under what I would call like your bum shelf, where your bum meets your legs. So I've got both fingers under there. I'll give you the very flattering rear view. So I feel like the ball is rolling a little bit this way and it's hanging over the top of my fingers. And then as I go this way, there just isn't as much going over the top of my fingers. If I show you from the side, I just move my arms slightly. So it's a really small movement, just from this low bit of your spine, the lumbar. It's this little bit here, so from below my fingers. And you keep your belly soft and squidgy. And it's this deflation as you exhale of your belly sort of crumpling inwards that powers it. We'll do one more. Now let's take our hips side to side. So you can imagine you've got a little bunny tail right here and you're giving it a little shake around. Keeping the top half of our body as still as we can. Just giving your tush, your bunny tail, that little wave. It's more like a wagging. So if you have a dog, I mean, when my dog wags, it's all like a whole body is going in a sort of snaky S shape. So I'm not as waggy as that, but I've got a cheerful little wag from side to side. And then we'll take it on a little spiral, little circle. Now, if you're sitting, it's like you're moving all around your bottom and your thighs and your pelvis. And then taking it the other way. Last one. And then we're going to grow tall. We're going to give the back of our head that little tap. Take the head back a little. Turn the head. And to enhance this, you just close your eyes and imagine those eyes at the back of your head and what you could see. Or just concentrate on that sensation, that tingle at the back of your head. Still breathing, just any time you feel like breath. We're not timing it in any way. Bring yourself back to the center. And now when we do that same sort of focus, we're going to bow like that. So we'll make that tingle come back. Keep that feeling right at the back of your head so you don't want it to come forwards. The tip of your nose is going to bow down. Like you're very quietly giving your assent to something. Yes, I will. Yes, I'm going to do Mobilates today. Yes, I'm looking forward to a cup of tea after the class, before I start my next class at 6. Yes, I'm looking forward to a break over Easter weekend. And then give everything a little shake, little wriggle, like your arms are ribbons or cooked spaghetti. The legs can join in too. And let's give our shoulders a roll. You can go for both shoulders or one at a time. And we're going all the directions that we can. So we might go forwards for a few and then backwards. We could take it super slow. Oh, last one. And then we're going to take an arm forwards. Stop sign. Then let your fingers go downwards so you can see your wrist is extended. Stop sign. Take your arm out to the side. There's a point I reach about here and my hand needs to drop a little bit. It's not so comfortable if I keep it there. It feels like I'm forcing it, so I'm just going to let it drop a little bit. Now, as it comes out to the side, we're going to let the little finger lead and it's going to curl inwards. My arm's going a little bit behind. It's comfortable to do that. It's curling in. Gentle. It's barely a fist. It's just sort of my fingers coming in. And then we're going to start again. Fingers reaching forwards. Turn the hand to a stop sign. Fingers down, up, down, up, out to the side. Little fingers. Reach back a little further if you can. Down and into your hand. And then just give that hand a little wriggle. And then the same on the other side. So reach forwards, stop sign. Fingers down, extending the wrist. Fingers up. Fingers down, fingers up, out to the side. Now this side is tighter for me. It does not want to go as far back, so I'm not going to take it. Little finger's going to lead the way. Taking it down, spiraling. My fingers come gently in. I'll show you the whole thing from the side. We can breathe in at this point. Bringing the fingers into the stop sign, so the wrist flexes this way. Then we're extending, flexing, stop sign, extending, flexing, out to the side. That's about my limit. And then the fingers lead the way and come in. Give the shoulders another roll. Let's go into the feet. I'm going to roll the front part, the ball of my foot. I sort of come back onto the heel as I've done a revolution around. Oh, nice click as well. And then going the other way. And then the same on the other foot. Oh, another click, just waking everything up. And then going the other way. And then take your feet into a V shape. If you are standing, your legs zip up like they've been stuck together with Velcro. If you're sitting, your knees will definitely be out to the side. You couldn't squeeze, put your feet like this and squeeze your legs together. It's impossible. So we're working in both those positions. Right from here, we're going to take the feet up and down, just a little bit. See what it's like. Now, if this feels too much, take your legs a little wider. And your arms go somewhere comfortable. So if you're standing, it's probably out to the side for a little bit of extra balance help. If you're sitting, you may feel more comfortable with them here, but if they're comfortable going out to the side, they can do. And you're trying to sit as tall as you can as you bring those heels up and down. I feel like they barely want to go down. They really want to come up for me. If you can bring your heels to touch when you're standing, bring them to touch. You might find as you lift, because it might just go apart here. And last one. And then take your feet into that parallel position. Just give them a little walk. Right, we're going to go for a side stretch. So let's have a little reach down the sides. But first, press your feet downwards, feeling your legs starting to engage a little. You might feel it in the soles of your feet if you've got good sensation there. And if you're sitting, sticking your bum right down on that chair so you can't lift a butt cheek on either side, pressing your feet down as if you're leaving footprints in your mat. And we're going to slide down one side, come up tall, and slide down the other. Come up tall, breathing in. Breathe out, sliding down. Breathe in, coming up as tall as you can. Out, sliding down. In, it's like your head has been attached to balloons, so it's really floating your body up high. Now, extra things we can do here. We can take those arms out. I think of this as wet washing line. And you can turn your palms outwards or down or even up if that feels comfortable. But as you do this, it's going to feel like your weight is going to go into this foot or this butt cheek as you go to this side. Press the opposite foot downwards. It needs extra effort on that side. Right, now I'm going down this way, my right, and I'm going to have to press my left down a little bit more to keep it really firmly attached to the floor. I'm going to take my head to this. It's like cradling your head, but I don't like to actually put my hands behind because I find this happens. I put my hands sort of balancing on the hair of my hair. But if you're happy cradling your head, go ahead. Same thing. So as I go down to my left, I'm pressing this leg down a little bit more. And other side. One more time each way. Might find you can get a slightly bigger opening here. I feel like I'm just bearing. Oh yeah, just got a little bit of my sides coming out for you. And then keep your head in this cradle position if that's comfortable, or with your hands on your chest. Take your legs a little wider. Let your feet go outwards a bit, just somewhere comfortable. You might even want to sink down a little if you're standing. If you're sitting, you've already got that feeling of being a little downwards. So we're going to do a little revolution, a little circling, but it's not from here, it's from here. Think of it as your shoulder blades, that area, and then your chest coming up. And then we'll take it the other way. It doesn't need to be very big. If you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia, small is fine. You're trying to create space and bring in movement rather than squash things. If it feels that you can lean back more and come forwards more, and that's comfortable for you, and you haven't got any sort of things in your back like osteoporosis or osteopenia, you might find you can get more movement. This gets into this, I call it the thoracic area. Always makes you think of dinosaurs. I think it's because I live in Devon near the Jurassic coast and it reminds me of Jurassic. But really we're talking about the bit of your spine that's covered by, from here to about the bottom of my hair, that's the thoracic spine. It's the bit that we hunch when we're sitting over things. Right, let's go for a little squat before we go into lying down. So for this one, if you are sitting, put your hands on your chest, take your legs a little bit wider, and if you're standing, we're going to take our arms forwards. So for standing, arms forwards, bum back. It's like you're trying to close a drawer with your bottom. So if I open this drawer, it's like I'm trying to bump it closed. It's got a fair way to go. And if you're doing this sitting, coming forwards with your legs just a little bit wider. Gives room for your belly, makes you feel more stable. Now we're going to put a bit of variation into this. This foot is staying forwards, this foot I'm going to take it back a little. And then I'm going to swap that over. I might even bring my legs slightly more forwards now. It's a slightly bigger movement. Now if you're standing, we've been doing this. Now I'm going to take this foot forwards. The other foot legs are wide, by the way, back. And I'm going to sit back evenly. So I'm just getting the drawer with both butt cheeks. It's not wonky to one side. It's both of them going back. And I'm going to stand up, swap my legs over again. And do that squat. And I'm going to change it around. One leg forward, one leg back. Could do it with both legs facing forwards. And this is much more like the sort of movement you do in everyday life. We're not perfectly aligned. We're not always, aware and practice. We're just lifting something up, putting it down. You might be trying to keep your back a little straighter and not hunching over, because that's the thing that pulls your back. It is for a lot of us. We tend to overdo it, do too many of those. Last one. And then to finish, before we go down on the floor, if you're sitting, slide your hands. And if you're standing, start to take your feet a little wider. Take your arms out in the air, and then we're all going to swish around us. Take it gently. Find your pace and let your feet move. So your body is getting a gentle twist rather than being wrung out. It's a lovely sort of stress reliever, this one. If in doubt, do this move. Last one. And then we're going to make our way down to the floor. So I'm going to move my chair out of the way. You might be moving down to your bed. You certainly might want a cushion or two, something for your head. Sometimes we like cushions underneath our legs. And take a bit of time to get yourself comfortable. Maybe have a drink of water. And we're going to lie down on our backs, just flipping my plan over in case my brain suddenly decides to make everything go a little blank. I've got my references there. And you could be lying with your legs bent, which is my favourite position for this. A little bit of breath work and neck work. You could have your legs long if that's comfortable. And if you've got cushions, you might put them under your legs. You could even have a big pile of cushions, or if you've got a wedge or something like that, you can place it under your legs for the moment. Just let them be supported. Arms somewhere comfortable out to the side. They're not going to move. So just somewhere that feels nice. And just check that your gaze is straight upwards, not behind you, not over and through your legs, just up. If it's not, you might need something underneath your head or whatever you've got. If it's tilting you that way, you might need to have something smaller, like a folded towel. And we're going to let our heads roll from one side, back to the centre, and to the other. It's almost as if we're trying to pour something out of our ear. I know that is not the most beautiful thought, but it's the most accurate direction I can give you. But imagine the back of your head, the roundness of it. Again, think of a ball. And we're just trying to get that gentle rolling motion. And then we're going to look up again. Now place your hands on your thighs if they're up, or just wiggle along your mat until it feels like you've just gone up a little and your back of your neck is slightly longer. So you could be pressing like this, or you might just wiggle your feet away from you. Check that you're still looking up. I might even do it in this position, lying completely flat. It's the tip of my nose doing that little bow. So just that tiny little bow down. I feel like I'm bowing towards my belly, actually. I would say towards my feet, but I can't see my feet. If I had a bigger belly, I'd probably see my belly here. So go for the belly. All I can see is the flatness of my chest. And having your mouth gently open, or just relax around the jaw. And just a small exhale. Last one. And now bend those legs back upwards. And we're going to do something with our arms. So we're going to wake those up. Let's take both arms up to the ceiling, palms facing. And then we're going to let the arms come downwards from our armpit to our elbow. Down, 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 down to the floor. Let's turn our palms like we're pressing away from us. Now take those palms straight up, facing away. I prefer that position actually, with the palms down. So as we're doing this, I'd like you to feel your arms just touching your body, your t-shirt at the side. And you might be having a little bit of a sort of conversation with your shoulders. They might be doing this. We're encouraging them to stay back as much as we can. I can feel mine having a bit of a crunch and a click. And on this next one, we're going to stay upwards. And just take them out. Soften your arm shape. Let your palms come upwards a little. And circle outwards like you're making a big, expansive gesture to somebody. All of this. I'm going to give you a hug this big. And then let your arms come down to the floor. We're going to extend one leg. And then let's pull the toes back towards us. Trying to get that foot away from us as evenly as possible rather than wonky, sort of coming inwards or going outwards. And then lengthen the foot. Oh, big click. Push the heel away and the toes towards you. Lengthen. Push the heel away. Slide that foot back up. Let's extend the other leg. Long leg, as long as you can get it. I'm trying not to do that. That would be turning outwards. Not doing that for the moment. Just forwards. So long foot at the front. And don't have to crunch the toes up and point them. In fact, doing that just tends to give cramp. So just a long foot. Push the heel away. Long. Push that heel away. Long. Push that heel away. And slide your leg back. And then we're going to take an outward motion with this knee. So we're going to let the knee come outwards till we're right on the side of that foot, this leg staying still, and then push the side of your foot and your leg rolled outwards this time, downwards, straighten the leg up, slide it back. This other leg is staying exactly where it is. Let the knee fall out to the side. Slide along the floor on the side of your foot. Straighten your leg up. Pull it back. You could be holding, resting your hands just here on your belly and your hip bones, your pelvic area, because that helps you feel if you're going wonky from side to side, and we want to stay still here. Slide away. No, not slide away. Knee out to the side, that's the one. Then slide away. Knee out to the side, slide away up the side of your foot. Now straighten that leg up and bring the leg back. This leg now stays still. We're going to do the same on the other side. Let this leg fall out to the side. That knee opens to the right side of your foot. Still here, not going over to the side. Steady. Slide that foot down. You can see, I'm just going to give my foot a wiggle, the sole of my, not my shoe, my sock, and then straighten your leg up. Slide the foot back. Open it out. Sliding on the side of your foot. Straighten up. Sliding back. I hope you're feeling nice things for your hips. It's a real hip opener. It's working on your hip mobility, that external outwards motion. Let's straighten up. And then let's take one knee into our chest and the other knee into your chest. You can either grab the back of your thighs. We're not pulling in very far. They're just coming up. So they're quite straight here. Could be on your knees. And we're just going to start circling. And we're doing this for our hips. So we're not pulling this far. We're not rounding and bringing our bum off the mat. We're keeping our back downwards. And we're using our hands. You could be grabbing your leggings if that's easier. Just to get some circles both ways for your hips. It can feel like you're going a little bit up and down the mat. Almost like you're going up, 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 up. And then let's have our knees together and our feet coming out to the side and then in. Out, in. You could do one at a time. This is reminding me of clackers, and that really dates me. I don't know if any of you remember clackers, that lethal toy that there was a craze for in the 70s, promptly banned by just about every institution at the time. And then take your feet downwards. We're going to roll over onto our fronts. And you might, if you have tightness in your lower back, you might want something underneath this area, sort of your pelvic area, just to relieve your back a little bit. So I tend to put my little cushion just there. We're going to take our arms to make a comfortable thing, a sort of bed headrest. Now, I don't like my head on my hands. It feels wrong for my neck. I actually like my forehead on the mat. So I just put my hands either side of my head. But if you want to be stacked up like that, all right, on top of your hands, you could do that too. You could also do this standing. Just stand close to a wall so you're facing the wall. And then follow the instructions. I'll give you the standing instructions whilst I'm lying here. So if you're lying down, first reach a leg away as if someone's just pulling it and trying to make it longer. And then the other leg away as if someone's pulling it and trying to make it longer. And keep it long. As it becomes long, this part of your body, all down your legs, starts to feel like it's ready for something. It's not flopping. It's long and sort of got a bit of energy in it. Now, if you're lying down, your foot is lengthened. If you're standing, your foot's flat on the floor. We're going to keep our legs straight in both positions. And then we're just going to lift the leg if we're on the floor, or take it slightly back behind you, like you're sliding it back, and your heel will lift a little bit off the floor if you're standing. And then take it down. Same side. Up, down. You can do it with an exhale. Inhale as it comes down. One more. Same on the other leg. I'm just going to show you the standing position just in case you are confused. So imagine that I'm standing against a wall here, and I'm going to go with this leg. It slides back and I'm keeping it straight. You can see that my heel is just off the floor, but my foot is flat, mainly because the floor is in the way for me making it long. And I'm just taking it back. And as I do it, I feel this leg is quite tight. My bum is going tight. It's not floppy. There's a bit of tension in it, and I'm really trying to stand as tall as I can. And if you haven't swapped to the other side, do that now to the other leg. Gets its go. Remember that feeling of length, like someone's pulled it first and then you're lifting it. So it's not this. It's away and up a little if you're on the floor. That's the last one. And then let your legs go wider and give your bum a wiggle. Now the next one, I need to shuffle down my mat a little bit more because we're going to lift our arms. So if you are standing, you could do this seated because it's just going to be for the arms. And you're going to be raising your arms in front of you so it looks like this. One arm and then the other arm. You go as close as you can towards your ears, but I'd rather you went wider if this starts to happen. So it's this rather than this. Right, and on the mat, the legs are lengthened, but they're not going to move. They're just lengthened away so that they're not flopping. Arms are outwards, and you're trying to turn your palms up towards the ceiling a little bit, forehead staying on the mat. Breath in. And someone's pulling your fingers on one hand. It's like they're lengthening your arm, and then you're lifting it up, taking it down, bringing it back. Other arm, lengthen and lift. And down. You might even feel that you really would rather lift your head and chest a little and do it that way. But just feel what's happening with your back. You have to remember your legs feel like they're being pulled as well. Otherwise, you tend to get this happening. See my bum coming up in the air, and it just all gets a bit uncomfortable. I'm fighting with a bit of a cramp in my foot at the moment. I'm just going to give my feet a wiggle. Last one. Then take your arms downwards, legs wide. Legs can be wide if you are sitting or standing, and just wiggle your bum, just easing off. And then we're going to push ourselves to sitting. So if you're lying down, if it's comfortable for your knees, you might push backwards. Otherwise, you might roll onto your side first and then take yourself into a seated position. So I'm there in that seated position. We've been in the usual virtual village hall time vortex when time has disappeared so fast. So let's do a movement to finish. So let's hug. We'll hug an Easter egg. It's for the season. So a giant Easter egg. Let's give it a hug, pulling back, and I'll show you the side view. And then let's take our arms back. Push up and slightly forward with your chest. Let's go around that giant Easter egg. And then sitting tall, bringing that chest up a little. One more. Giant egg. Chest up. And then let's take our arms, palms out to the side. Scoop up the air. Bring your hands together high. I'm going high today. Could be in front of you, wherever they come together. Bring them into your chest. Well done for carving out that time for yourself, getting everything moving. Every little helps. That motion is lotion, and it is good for our bodies to keep that body moving. Well done. I shall see you all next week. Have a lovely spring bank holiday. I wish the weather was going to be better. I have my fingers crossed for those gaps in between the rain showers. Namaste, Irene. Lovely to see you all. See you soon.